So I'm Morton, and I live here in Franklin, North Carolina. But Madison and Dustin actually were the ones who originally were like, you should go do the summer internship. And I had never thought about it and was like, I never ever planned on going to it. I know that that was an option available for me, kind of, but I never planned on doing it. And so they told me, so I prayed about it. And so I did. I felt the Lord leading me here. And just to grow in Him, I didn't have too many specific things. I kind of had some broad things for what He was leading me here for. So, but I just felt the leading here. So I decided to sign up, and I'm very glad I did because this summer was amazing, and I learned so much in the Lord. I could probably talk this whole time, but I'm going to just shorten and go to a couple points. But, so the first 2 weeks, we started out, it was really hard, and I had a big struggle. I really just wanted to go home. I was like, I'm done, I was being pressed, and I wasn't going to the Lord with it. I was trying to, but there was just something in me that kind of just didn't fully surrender to that. So then, actually, there were things that were blocking me from really hearing from the Lord, I feel like, for the first 2 weeks. And then Train to Reign started, and we had Mr. Larry. He talked about, things that are, going in between you and the Lord. And so he had us write these things down, and I wrote them down. And honestly, there were quite a few things that were hindering me from getting, all I could from the Lord. And so I wrote them down, and I kind of just held on to them for a little while. And then we had just a little thing where they had a fire burning, and they, kind of just, if we were really giving them to the Lord, to burn those things and lay them down. And it was really good to see, a picture for it. Because once I threw that paper in the fire, I knew that it was going to be a struggle, and I had to, get rid of these things. But it was so, crazy to see a visible representation of me giving those things and letting them go. And honestly, from that moment on, I really worked on getting rid of those things. And I started to hear from the Lord so much. So from, that moment on, this whole summer, I've been getting so much every single day. The Lord, He'll give me a word or a verse. And it's crazy. I've never heard from the Lord so much. The week went on, and each week, there were new blessings from the Lord and new things that I could grow in and work on. Every single week, it started to build up even more. And then I'm going to go to Extra Mile came along, and, we're at the end of the summer. It's the last thing. I was so nervous about Extra Mile. I felt like every time, when the Extra Mile was mentioned, Mr. Larry would look at me, and I was like, oh no, am I going to die on this thing? So I was really scared. And so, so the first day, Monday of Extra Mile, we go out, and we go to a place where we just kind of sit and we listen to what the Lord has to say, or what He's going to tell us for the week. And so I sat there, and the Lord really spoke to me in that moment, which is really cool too. But He was just He told me that I was going to get a lot out of this week if I focused on Him. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to focus on You, and I just want to get as much as I can out of this week, because He specifically told me this. So this is, the days go on. I was finding little things, but I want to say, honestly, my mind was kind of going to, what I was going to do after, the summer internship, and I realized my mind was thinking ahead to what happens after. And so then one of the interns talked to me. They were sharing something with me that someone else had told them about not looking ahead, but almost living in the moment and seeing what the Lord has for you in that moment. And I realized that's what I was doing wrong. So that was a good God encounter as far as that. And so then, I was like, all right, we're going to, live in the moment and also not revisit the things that I've already thought about. So I decided that every step of the way I was going to think of the Lord and what He had to show me in that very moment and not look, ahead, because I will have that tendency to look ahead and all my life I've kind of done it, where I look ahead to the next thing I'm excited for. And when that happens, it's not really fulfilling. I missed so many things I could have picked up along the way. And then I'll pick a new moment to look forward to. And that week, and even now, I was looking for what the Lord had to show me in that moment, and I was just excited for that moment in that time, what the Lord had to show me then. And so I really found a lot in that. And so as we, began to go into our hiking, the Lord showed me something, really just kind of crazy, because it was really painful. The hike was really hard for me. And my mind just went to the pain or what I was going through, or even like, when I get done with this, I'm going to do this. But then I was like, no, I need to focus on the Lord and what he has to show me this time. So I just found different ways to try to focus on the Lord, and it was so hard, honestly. And the Lord is kind of just showing me, like, this is what your life is going to be like. There's going to be a lot of pain. There's going to be, easy parts, obviously, because there were easy parts where where I could easily think about the Lord. But he was just showing me, like, in life, you have to, every moment of the way, be focused on me. It's not going to be easy. You're really going to have to try hard. And so the more and more I tried, the more and more I did that and determined in my mind to do that, the easier it became. And like by the end of it, which was the hardest part, we went up so fast, I feel like, and obviously we beat last year's time for the last part. But nonetheless, like, the last part was not hard. I was so focused on the Lord and like just, dwelling in his presence and in him. It was so easy. And I was like, wow, I didn't even know it kind of passed by. I was so nervous for that part. And like, I realized I came to a point where I could just focus on the Lord. Obviously it was so hard before, but like, and then he gave me the strength to do it. And I did it, and it was not as hard, as it could have been if I wasn't focusing on it. And that I know I'm going to take into my life now. And I just feel like having that experience, it was really great because, and I know that, mentally or whatever, I know that's what I'm supposed to do. But actually doing it and taking it into action, I know I'm going to bring that home, and I know I'm going to be able to do that. And I have to continue, obviously, seeking the Lord. It's going to be hard, but I know that I will get to that point where everything else kind of fades away, and it's going to be a lot easier because I'm just focused on him and in his presence always. So that was like the key part of my summer. But the Lord grew me in so many other ways as well. Like I could go on a list. So if you want to come up to me later and ask, I would be so happy to share with you what else the Lord has done. But I'm going to end there before I talk for forever.